If you're a trader, you know the feeling. You're stuck. You're endlessly searching for a better strategy, and you're frustrated because nothing seems to work consistently. Well, in this explainer, we're going to look at the one big shift that separates struggling traders from profitable ones. And I'll give you a hint. It has nothing to do with finding some secret indicator. It's all about structure.
So, let's just be real for a second. If you're struggling with your trading, if you feel like you're caught in this cycle of wins and losses that just lead you right back to where you started, I want you to know you're not alone. This is basically the default experience for almost everyone who gets into the markets.
And here's the most important thing I want you to hear. It is almost never your fault. It's not because you're lazy, and it's definitely not because you're not smart enough. Most traders are incredibly smart and dedicated people. The real problem, well, it's somewhere else entirely. The real issue is that the path we're all taught to follow is just fundamentally broken. We watch endless videos, read countless articles, but they all give us these ideas in isolation. It's like getting a box of puzzle pieces with no picture on the front, just a bunch of disconnected concepts, not a real plan.
So, why do most traders really struggle? To actually solve this, we have to get to the root cause, which goes way deeper than the usual excuses like, oh, I just have bad discipline.
This right here, this breaks down the chaos. You learn concepts one by one, support and resistance on Monday, a new indicator on Tuesday. But without a repeatable structure to tie them together, your rules change every single day. They change based on what you just saw on YouTube or how you feel after a bad loss. And that forces you to make decisions based on raw emotion, not a logical, systematic process.
And you know, it all boils down to this simple, unavoidable truth. If your approach to the market is random, if your rules and your analysis change from one day to the next, then your results are going to be random too. You just can't expect consistency from a process that is itself inconsistent.
So what's our natural reaction when things get random and chaotic? We think, I just need to learn more. But this is exactly where we fall right into the overload trap, where the thing that feels like the solution, getting more knowledge, actually makes the problem so much worse.
And this slide just illustrates that paradox perfectly. The belief is, if I just watch one more video or add one more indicator, I'll finally crack the code. But the reality? Information overload completely paralyzes you. You've got too many conflicting signals, so you hesitate, you second-guess yourself, and you end up getting into trades late, if you get in at all.
So if cramming more knowledge in our heads isn't the answer, what is? Well, this brings us to the missing piece. The solution isn't a new strategy, it's a defined process. See, a strategy is just a vague idea, like buy the dip. But a process defines exactly what that dip looks like, what confirmations you need to see, and when the whole idea is just plain wrong.
So what do we even mean by a trading process? It's really just a framework for making decisions. It's a set of rules and clear models that you follow every single time, no matter how you're feeling or what you think is going to happen next. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
And this is the core idea right here. Profitable, consistent trading is not about having some magical crystal ball. It isn't about predicting the future. It's about execution. It's about having a structure you can trust and then having the discipline to follow its rules, trade after trade after trade.
Okay, that sounds good in theory, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's dig into how simple systems can help you find that clarity in the middle of all the chaos.
What actually works is, believe it or not, pretty straightforward. It means using a few clear, well-defined trade models like a specific breakout pattern, instead of just taking random setups. It means you're applying the same rules day in and day out. It means you always understand the bigger market picture before you even think about placing a trade. And maybe the most important part of all, it means knowing when the conditions aren't right and having the discipline to just sit on your hands and not trade.
But here's the psychological hurdle, and it's a big one. Our brains crave excitement, complexity. A simple, almost mechanical system can feel really uncomfortable. It might even feel like you're not doing enough. Let's face it, it's just not that exciting.
And this is a huge mindset shift you have to make. You have to totally reframe your expectations. Because in structured trading, boredom is a feature, not a bug. When your process starts to feel a little bit repetitive, a little boring, that's not a sign something is wrong. That's the first sign that something is finally right.
When you finally embrace this kind of structure, it leads to a massive shift. You stop chasing that feeling of excitement, and you start building something way more valuable, genuine confidence.
Okay, let's be crystal clear about this difference.
Certainty is the gambler's dream. It's the illusion that you know what's going to happen next. Confidence is something else entirely. Real trading confidence comes from your process. It's the deep-down knowledge that whether you win or lose, you followed your rules and you know exactly why you made every single decision.
And when it finally clicks, the change is just profound. You'll find yourself spending way less time staring at charts. You'll take fewer trades, but the ones you do take will be much higher quality. Your execution gets sharp and decisive, and that emotional roller coaster, it just flattens out, and it's replaced by calm, calculated decision-making.
Which brings us to a hard but really essential truth. The struggle doesn't end because you suddenly became smarter than the market, because you never will. Trading only gets easier, calmer, and more consistent when you finally give up trying to outsmart it and instead just commit to following your own structure.
So the path to becoming profitable, it's not a journey of addition. It's not about finding that one magical new tool or strategy. It's actually a journey of subtraction. It's about systematically removing all the behaviors, all the beliefs, and all the random things that are holding you back.
So this really leaves you with a choice. Are you going to keep chasing that illusion of complexity, hoping for some magic breakthrough that never seems to come? Or are you going to choose the quiet, disciplined path of clarity? The choice is yours.